Hi guys, me again Aswad, and today I'm finally gonna do my review for The Last of Us 2. I just want to warn you that this is gonna be a spoiler review. And The Last of Us, the first one is one of my favorite video game until today. I love it so much that I bought the digital copy and download the whole game to my PS4, and I played it. I love it so much that I played it on PS3, and then when they remastered it for PS4, I bought it again to play on the PS4. That's how much I love The Last of Us. Fantastic story about Joel and Ellie, this father and daughter relationship, even though they are not really father and daughter, but he became like her father, and she accepted him like she is his daughter, and like she is her father. And I give that game 10 out of 10 because it was so great. It's a zombie post-apocalyptic game, but it has all these emotional things that makes the game really awesome. And yeah, I think that you might think you know what I score for this movie, for this second game. It's almost like a movie, man. Both games, I consider them like interactive movie. That's how good they are. Now, and then years later, like 4 to 5 years, they finally come out with part 2. And wow, the reviews online are mixed. Critics love it, but fans hate it. And I want to tell you why. And this is a spoiler. Okay, this is a spoiler warning. I don't want you to let's come out with the truth, because before this game came out, there was a leaks that said some of the spoiler things, but I don't believe it. I don't want to believe it, and I wanted to play. Alright, so the biggest thing I think that divided fanboys or gamers who have played part 1 and love it is they killed Joel in this game, like right in the beginning. You know, right about you're just about to play the game, about you feel like it's 30 minutes long. Just right in the beginning, they killed Joel. And it was, like I said, I had to stop playing the game for a bit because I didn't expect it. Even though I heard the leaks about rumors, I didn't read them, I didn't look at the videos. But that's what happened, and it was shocking because you love, they made these characters so beautiful in the first movie. Their relationship, father and daughter, is so beautiful. For this game to kill him off was a shock to many people, and I think that's the backlash for it. Okay, and then the game is about Ellie getting revenge on Joel. So I don't think this is a big spoiler because you need to know what the game is about. It's about revenge. So you need to know that Joel died in the first half, and to be honest with you, it was so devastating for a lot of people. Right? Okay, before I spoil any further, that's why I consider it not a spoiler, but in a way it's a small spoiler, but you need to know why people what the game is about. It's a revenge game, because if you ask what would Ellie revenge against, you know, it has to be something big. So they created this storyline where Joel is dead and Ellie has to find the killer, which everybody knows now because from the trailer and whatnot, her name is Abby. So I don't think that's a spoiler, right? Now, however, what do I feel about it? Okay, to be honest with you, I played the game. I finished the game before I made this review. To be honest with you, the first game is 5 years old, 4 to 5 years old, and true, Joel is such a great character, amazing character. As I was playing all this game all through, I had to stop after his death. But after I played on, I don't mind. I love this game. I have a complex feeling about this game. I love it. At the same time, it's not something an enjoyable thing to replay or go through. It's a mix for me. It's a mix for me. For a lot of people, I think for a lot of gamers, it's a mix. Because you can't deny that it is an amazing game. First, let me just give you why it's amazing. The graphics. It's 10 out of 10. The graphic in this game is, I'm not joking, it's 10 out of 10. They have like environment, very nice environment, very beautiful. You can go to grass and whatnot. Fantastic, beautiful environment. And then you have the internal, inside the buildings, inside the houses, beautiful with light. It looks so real, man. Like abandoned houses or abandoned building, it looks beautiful. You can just stand there and explore. I love that also in part 1. So when they have this in part 2 and they expand on it, there's a lot more places to explore. 10 out of 10. You cannot deny it. I mean, even though some people who hate it, you have to, they will admit that the graphic is 10 out of 10. It's beautiful. And then when the horror starts, because the game wants to remind you it's still a survival horror. Like in part 1, there were some dark places that scares people. But this game, the horror bit, oh man, they did it so nice. I have 10 out of 10 for the horror bit, for the action scenario, for the internal building, outside environment. Oh, inside abandoned houses, inside abandoned hospitals, all the buildings and whatnot are beautiful. So that alone is 10 out of 10, right? So you think that will that will make you replay it again better? Well, I have not finished my review yet. I learn a lot, I learn a lot because I like storytelling and I like movies. And this feels like Alien. There is a lot of reference to Alien that you'll find in this game. I'm gonna spoil some. I want to encourage you to play. That's the thing. I want to encourage you to play. You will end up with a lot of weapons, including the flamethrower, that really takes you back to the Alien Ripley stuff. Really amazing. Those scenes, amazing. How can you not enjoy it, right? So let me say it again. The visual graphic, 10 out of 10. No arguments about that. The gameplay, the control, the shooting, everything, all that sense, I give it 9 out of 10. So it's so good, but I still give it 9 out of 10. Why? The control wise, you cannot lock on to the enemy. There will be a lot of boss fight. There are boss fights in this game, but you cannot lock on them. So you end up having to move around a lot. Whereas you can easily, the lock-on mechanic should be there, but they don't have lock-on mechanic here. So that's how it's 9 out of 10. But control-wise, it's fantastic. You can see in the trailer, they show it. You can walk. You can crawl on the grass, under the grass, so the enemy cannot see you. But if the enemy are close, they can see you. But you can crawl. You can crawl a lot of places. I mean, all these mechanics, there are some of them are in the first game, but they are not that extensive like here. Like this part, it's just a double-edged sword. One of the bad things I will explain later, but you can do a lot more in this game. They really want you to explore, to crawl. Oh, you can also jump in this game. You cannot in the first game you cannot jump. So those are high marks. Like I said, couple that gameplay, control, everything with the graphic. Wow, graphic 10 out of 10. I have to remind you again because I've never seen graphic like this in a game. This is 10 out of 10. It looks so realistic, man. Okay, so 9 out of 10 for the control, because the control are amazing. If it's not broken, why don't fix it. It's fantastic. They added jumping. You don't do a lot of that, but it's not a big deal, you know what I mean. You're crawling, you know, it's a cover shooter game, and the shooting element is fantastic. Alright, the gameplay, okay, that's the control. The gameplay means like it's a revenge story. To get that, you have to fight a lot of enemies. So a lot of enemies, a lot of zombies, kind of monster zombies. So those are excellent too. Alright, those are excellent too, but I would put it like 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, because some of them are repetitious. Some of them, the AI are not that smart. But I was told if you play on survival, the AI will be better. I play on normal. What else? It's about, I have to stop. For me, some people say it's about 30 hours game. Some people can play in less than 2 days. Because the subject matter is heavy. I will tell you why brings this movie is divided for me. It's a heavy game. Like when Joel died, I cannot continue to play. I just feel like shock. You will find a lot of other scenes in this movie that will be like, you need to stop. I can't play. Unless you can play, that's fine, but I can't. I feel like, no, this is too heavy. Emotionally, it's too heavy. I will tell you why also. I will explain the bad side of the game. I like the first game. The first game for me doesn't have a bad side. Doesn't have a bad side. I love the first game. That's why it's get 10 out of 10. But this game have a bad side. And that's again ready for a spoiler, because the bad side is huge. It's heavy. It really like brings the mood down. Like I said, it's 10 out of 10 in terms of visual, in terms of gameplay, it's quite high. But what really brings this game down is the subject matter. Subject matter is, besides the death of Joel, it's a serious game in terms of what that does to a person. Like I lost my dad last year. Can you imagine playing this game this year? And then all this kind of emotion that Ellie had to go through. Alright, so it's quite heavy in that terms. Also, it's about loss, and you can feel it, and it will stay with you right to the end, because this movie game have a lot of flashback to Joel, and you will, whenever it goes back to Joel, you feel it. I mean, you try to forget it. Like I said, I was okay. I can forget about it. I can move on. But when they keep hammering that flashback, oh man, it makes the game hard, because it's so, you feel down because you love Joel, right? When people keep reminding you of Joel, you feel it. So I think the game developer knows this, so they can't blame people feeling down. This game, okay, this is the biggest thing that I got from this game. There's somewhat a good thing, but I want to tell you, because of the, like Joel's dad passed away. Joel passed away. It's heavy. It's the downer thing throughout. The game keep reminding you of Joel right until the end. It doesn't make it better. It makes you feel worse. So the game, the problem with this game, it makes you feel so down. Right off. That's why you need to stop. And not only you, Abby's character, Ellie's character, she's down the whole game. She is so depressed and down the whole game, and you have to play as her a lot. So how can you not feel down? So I think that brings the mood of this thing is so dark, so down and depressing. So that's one. I think that's why I say in my review on the Twitter, I said this is a good game, but it has dark and depressing themes. It's a very dark film, dark game. Dark film can also be said. It really is depressing. You know, game is supposed to be fun, but this game is so fucking depressing, man. So when you play this game, be warned. I want to be for your own mental health. Don't play this game straight. You need to take a break. When you think it's too heavy, because they want you to feel heavy. They want you to feel sad. They want you to feel down. That's the one thing that I get from Naughty Dog. They want you to feel that which I say is doesn't have in part 1. Part 1 is heavy because of the post-apocalyptic human race are cruel and stuff like that. But this is a different level. They really want you to feel down and sad, because you're playing a character that is down and sad. Ellie is messed up. I would say by the end of the game, the thing that's pop up in me, Ellie is broken. She's mentally broke. I think wire putus. Wire putus in Malay, in English, it kind of means you lost it. She lost it. Ellie lost it when the third half, really third half came in, when Ellie had to go again to do this mission. Oh, you can tell she lost it. She's mentally off. She left her family. She had a family, but she left it because when the way she left it, she was so robotic about it. She was, like I said, I know people who are mentally ill. Not my relatives, but I know when people have lost it. I mean, they're not completely crazy, but they lost it. I seen that kind of thing. So I seen it here in this game, and it is so fucking depressing. Unless you don't feel anything, then it's okay. It's a fun game or a bad game. But I have to note that, man, it's a depressing. Ellie broken. She's really out of it. And that is sad because the ending, it ended like that. It ended with her lost everything. Ay. Okay, so this, like I said, the big elephant in the room is a downer game. No doubt about it. It's a downer. It's a great visual game. I will talk about the story, but it's a downer game because Ellie is down. Ellie is depressed. Ellie is mentally ill. You have to play 30 hours in this game. It will show you Ellie is mentally ill and mentally off, and you have to play that. Unless you are not human, you can control your emotions, then it's fine. But for me, it's just a downer game, downer storyline for for Ellie. Okay, since I segue into Abby. Abby is the one who killed Joel. So your game to play Ellie is to reach Abby and kill her for this revenge thing to work. That's the first one big thing. It's a downer game, right? Now, the biggest downer and biggest spoiler to me that I did not expect, you have to play as Abby. You have to play as the killer of Joel. You have to play as the girl who killed Joel. a lot of people could not accept that. That broke the game. Some people just stopped playing the game right there. I did not. I continue. I will tell you why I continue to play the game. Even though it was a shocking thing, I stopped when I realized, oh my god, you have to play as the killer, Abby. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. I was so shocked. I was so shocked that you had to play as Abby, the killer. Wow. You know, you lost your favorite character. If you're a fanboy of the game, you lost a father figure. I lost my dad. Right? Natural causes. So imagine if I have to play the a game that I have to play somebody who killed my dad. It's in a way, it's kind of like a genius kind of thing in this, if you think about cinematically. But games are so personal, you feel so fucked up. You have to play as Abby. At first, I did not want to play it. I'll be honest with you, I stopped. I had to think, should I continue this game as to play as Abby? You have to know, yes, you have to get to know Abby and the world that she's living in. You have to know, you get to know her friends. You get to know her motivation. Why she killed Joel. And that is what brought me back in. Brought me back into this game is finding out her motivation. I wanted to find out. Because at first I was shocked, right? I didn't like it. But this is before the whole depressing mood came in, you know. So halfway, you end up playing as Abby. When you start playing as Abby, at first I didn't want to go. I was thinking, so this is so bad. I have to play the killer, somebody who killed my favorite character. Why do I want to do that? But this is the cinematic part of me come in, because I love movies, and movies, the good, great ones, usually have this kind of they make you understand why the villain act that way. You see in Thanos, you see in all the great movies have that. So, and then you get to play her, and then you get to know her. You get to know her relationship with her friend and her dad. So this is a big spoiler. So then I found out that her dad, big spoiler, was the doctor who operated on Ellie. Who was supposed to operate on Ellie in the first game. But Joel came to save Ellie and kill her dad. And the best part, you get to play in this period, right? You get to play in this game. Abby was there. Abby, you get to go in. Abby came to the room and found her dad died, got killed by Joel. That happened in this game. You flashback, and I love it. I have to say, to be honest with you, the moment you find out why she want to kill Joel, I love it. I love Abby. Because to me, what Abby did is justified. You understand? And what Abby did was justified. Because, okay, can you imagine? This is what cut the game in half for fans. And like me, I love movies. I'm a filmmaker. I love this part, because it brought me in to play and enjoy myself as Abby. After I found out why she did it, I forget Joel. Even though the game tries to bring Joel flashback, try to make it, no, Joel, in true honesty, was a bad person. Because if you look from her perspective, that's a word, perspective. The game is about perspective. Okay, if you look from Abby's perspective, they found this girl, Ellie. Could be the cure for all this apocalyptic zombie virus. Even here, the reveal Even the doctor is hesitant to do it. The Firefly leader at that time was hesitant to do it. But they decided for the sake of humanity, they should operate on Ellie. And as you know, even Ellie herself inside this game and also in part 1, she wants to be sacrificed. She is willing for her to be sacrificed so that they can use her brain to find a cure for the virus. She wanted that. In this game, they will reveal it again that Ellie wanted them to use her body. Even she dies, they want her to. And this game, I really managed to be on Abby's side. So in the second half, you play as Abby. I'll be honest with you, I love Abby. I love her character because then you find out her motivation. She has a right to get angry because the violence is caused by this virus could have been solved if they have done the operation on Ellie. So when Joe killed her dad, of course he's gonna get angry. So I understood completely Abby's decision. This is a very unpopular. I know a lot of fans doesn't like this, but to be honest, if you play it yourself, they make you understand Abby. When you start playing as Abby, when you start going through all that, that is when the game really opens up. I mean, the first half, you play as Ellie on a revenge spree. Yeah, it's a good game. But the moment you play as Abby, to me, it becomes amazing game. It's an amazing game. Because the topic of Abby is about perspective and bias. They talk about, okay, in Abby's mission, when you start playing Abby doesn't look, if you see the pictures, she looks like a muscle. She doesn't look like a woman. Some people call her transgender. No. She bulked up her body to be like Hulk so that she can get revenge. So she become strong enough to kill Joel. That's what she had to sacrifice. I love her. And then you learn that after the Fireflies are gone, there are 2 new factions in the world besides the Ellie team. The storyline in Abby's world, there are the Wolf and the Seraphites. Now, Abby is in the Wolf team, right? You can say that's like America because they are very gung-ho, they are very soldier. Now, and then the Seraphite, when you start playing, one start to understand who's the Seraphite, the Seraphites, they call it is a religious fanatic. So I was thinking before playing this game, what kind of religious fanatic are they talking about? You know, I know. When I start playing, I didn't know. But when I start getting to know the Seraphite, it's a mirror to Islam, or you know, they're calling the Seraphite terrorists, or they worship, you know, I'm not talking Islam, I'm talking about how the Western perceive Islam as a terrorist religion, extremist religion. That's how the Wolf team think about the Seraphites. And when you are playing as Abby, you met with spoiler again, you rescue a Seraphite girl. When you said rescue her, you go through the game with her, with the Seraphite girl. It's like Abby have to understand her side, the Seraphite side, and I find it like American trying to understand other races and other culture. That's the message from Abby's game, that she has to understand about other race, other cultures, and the Seraphite girl even explained one beautiful line that Abby would say, oh, is that when they started stoning people? Stoning people is a very cruel ISIS activities and very extremist activities within Islam, that you can stone a person to death. And the girl, the certified girl says, which I also believe, he said even the Prophet will not. They said, Abby said, your people will probably stone him or her, and the girl said, I don't think the Prophet will approve. I said, Abby was said, now what do you mean? Because if you read the text, there's no talk about stoning or doing all these crazy things, which I also believe. Islam doesn't teach you to be cruel. The way this thing, I look at it like how she explained how this Western religion, like the wolf, is like the US military. They are very well armed. They meet the spiritual kind of group that's called certified, which is to teach you that the certified, they are not perfect. They are not saying they are perfect, but the certified has different set of belief, different set of culture, way of life that Abby tries to understand. And then when they understand, there is a beautiful point in the game when Abby brings her to her friend, this girl, the certified girl, to her friend. She just says a simple thing: they're human, they are just kids. That's the big message from the Abby's part of the game. She's just a human being. So that Abby's part, I really enjoy it, because that's the bulk of the game, the bulk of the message. And the certified girl was a transgender, really like I said, it's like shades of what you hear about Islam in extremist countries. They were saying that the girl turns out to be a transgender, and he's a he, but in that he is a she, but she feels like she's a guy. So she did a bad thing that only guys should do in that faith, in that religion. And then they hate her. They threw her out of the village, of their community, and she could not get over it. And the message there, she's just a person. She still have faith. That's why Abby was asking now about your faith. No. She said, I still have faith, but I don't want to follow this group of people anymore, because they twisted her faith. So it's beautiful in that way. I mean, if you are really looking to deep message, Abby has it. And then, like I said, I enjoyed my moment with Abby. I really forget about Joel, because then during I was playing it, I realized Abby was justified, Joel was an asshole. And at that time, you will see too that Ellie is a mental nutcase. You get to fight Ellie. From Abby, you get to fight Ellie, and you can see Ellie is a mental case. She is. As much as I sympathize with her, the game wants you to play as Abby and sympathize with Abby and see Ellie as she is. I'm not joking about her losing her. She's not mentally stable. Ellie is no longer mentally stable. Even her side also sees her as no longer right. But they don't show it like she's crazy. You understand why she's going crazy, why she lost it. So just to repeat, so you play as Ellie and then you play as Abby, but the third part, they pull you back to play as Ellie. Now you have seen Ellie. The first part is like you remember her like in the first game. Now you get to see Abby. Now you get to understand Abby. Now you go back to Ellie. And the third half, when you play back as Ellie, that's when they tell you that they infer to you Ellie is not well in her head. In her soul, she's not well. She tries to be maintain her calmness, but she lost it. So it was so sad to play as her. I say that because when you play as Ellie, you playing as a sick person. I have friends who are depressed. who have mental illness. And when you play this, you know it. I know it. The game tells you from the people surrounding her, and then the game lets you play as her. She's really not. She's a sick person. Not doing sick, like to kill children. No, she's not well. So the third half, the third part of the game is a downer to me because you're playing as a mentally ill person. That is what really makes me sad. I was so sad. The first half I wasn't. I was like, okay, sad about Joel's death, and then I hype out about to take revenge, and then going through this phase where I get to play as Abby, and then understanding Abby, what's the motivation. You feel like, oh, Abby's right. Joel was not a good person. Joel killed her dad for not doing it just to save humanity. Of course, I understand with Abby, and then you get, after all that, you find out that Ellie was mentally ill. You get to play back as Ellie, and the game tells you Ellie is not well. The game tells you Ellie is not well. So it's sad that when the game ended with that confrontation, with that revenge part, that one I won't spoil. But when the game ended in that spot, you know that Ellie was broken. Ellie is broken. I was quiet the whole last. I was quiet because I'm sad for my friend. The loss of innocence. That's another theme of this movie. The loss of innocence. Ellie in the first game, even though the zombies, apocalyptic kind of thing, she is funny character. She is funny. She will say quips. She will say funny things. So she enjoyable. Here, she has become like dark character. The only pure character from this game is the Seraphite girl. I love. She's the Seraphite girl. She's the only pure character in this game. The spiritual girl. And she became like a spiritual mentor to Abby. They don't say it explicitly. They show it. Because, not a spoiler, there was a moment where Danny could have killed Ellie and her friend, but the girl said no, don't, something like that. And I appreciate it because in this game, Abby has a growth. But Ellie, she got broken. Beautiful. The storyline, I say to you, is beautiful because of this kind of variety. So to me, I'm mixed because if you look at it, if I think about the philosophy, the message, it's fantastic. It's beautiful. But at the same time, you are discussing about mental illness. It is such a depressing game. You are playing a mental ill person, Ellie. She, at the end of the game, she's mentally ill. She needs help, and she's not getting it. Hopefully, after this, she gets it. But I was so sad for her. I'm conflicted because this is a game, you know. That's why I say I never seen a game like this. Like the first thought, this is almost movie-like. In a movie, you can have dark tone and it's still great. You can praise it, but I'm not gonna watch it again right away. It's not something happy. So that's the thing with game. Game is supposed to be, can I replay it again and again? You can't. Because it's long and it's tedious, and then it's so dark and depressing. I feel like that. I don't watch Christopher Nolan's movie back to back because his movie is so serious. This game is like that, but it's termed as game. You know how it is game? Try to distress and play this game. I don't blame the Naughty Dog. I think Naughty Dog, if you guys are listening, I don't think you are listening. But I want to say this is a fantastic in terms of storyline, in terms of cinematography. It's like a movie. This game is like a movie. But at the same time, it's not a good game because it's so depressing. It's difficult for me to replay this game again right away. After I played this game, I know these are long-winded. I don't mind. I deleted the first game. I told you, right? The first game, I download the whole game on my PS4. I had to delete. Part 2, also I downloaded the full game on my PS4. I don't know I want to delete or not, but I'm still thinking about it because it's so depressing. That's why you see the review, the critic says it's good, give a good high score, but the normal gamers say it's a down score. Because if a critic, they judge it in terms of all of that cinematography, all that art, it's an artistic movie, a cinematic movie, definitely high score. But also as a gamer, as a human, I realized this is not a fun game to play. That will come at the end, which I say it's not a fun game to play as a mental ill person. It's not fun to play. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm saying it's a great game, but it's not fun to play. I realized that's a new category for me in terms of kind of. It's a great game, no doubt about it. But it's not a fun game to play. That's the thing that after I left the game, I left until the credit scroll. I cannot touch the screen. I cannot touch the control. I just put the control down. I just sit there and think. This is a long review. I don't mind doing it because this is an important game to play. It's a very important game to play, but it's not for fun. It's not a fun game to play. There is Game Plus that you can play with all the weapons, that all the things that you have gotten. Yeah. But I don't think I don't know. I don't know whether I want to go back to play it again right away. It's a great game. That's my review. I'm going to end it with this mark. You heard all my discussion about this. This is a great game. Naughty Dogs, thank you. This is a great game, but it's not a fun game to play. It's not a fun game to play. I mean, you have fun in Bird, but you walk out, you will feel depressed and sad. If you're older, you've gone through experiences, you've gone through losses in real life, mental illness with friends and relatives or whatever, you will feel it. PTSD, the topic of all this heavy topic about politics, about getting to know another race, another culture. These are heavy topics. They are good, but it takes a toll on you. So if you are depressed, don't play this game. But as I say, match my score. Great game, but not fun to play. I cannot play and be happy playing a mental ill person. I all throughout the third party phase, I hope she gets help. I feel that. But it's a good experience. I urge everybody have to play it. But don't play straight. You have to relax. Alright? Just to take care of your mental health also. There's a good message in this game. Mental health is a no joke. That is my long-winded review for The Last of Us 2. Deservedly a long review. Deserve this high score, high praise. And I understand why it's high. I understand why it's low for some people. Because it is not a fun game to play. Take it like how you want to take it. Alright? But thank you for watching, guys. Peace.